Hey guys, Arena Stories here, and today I'll be showing you how you can beat every class as a Backstab Spec rogue, and I will be linking my talents in the description and comment section of the video. First off guys, we have a warrior here. Now when it does come down to warriors guys, it would really depend on what they are wearing. Now what do I mean by that guys? It depends on what weapon they have equipped. So if they do have a one-handed sword and a shield, please do not backstab that warrior because you would crit for nothing with your backstab. You are just going to waste energy and lack combo points and possibly not apply any crippling poisons on him. What I would recommend doing here guys, since he is playing with a shield, is coming in, go for a cheap shot here to 2 hemorrhages. He does trinket guys. Now immediately go in for a blind. Now why do we do that guys? Reason why is because we do not want to give him a second of control here. The millisecond he does gain any control, he can swap to his two-handed weapon, crit up to 2000 damage by one swing, which we will not allow that to happen, and it is a deadly game here, so we are just going to go for a sap. Just wait for the stun DRs to completely come off. Now since he does have 4 combo points on him already, we're going to take this opportunity guys, come in, go for a growth into a full kidney shot. Now why do we do that? It is because since he is playing with a defensive stance and he has a shield equipped, our backstab and hemorrhage damage will hit for absolutely nothing, so we are going to go in for full bleeds here with a growth and a rupture. Keep applying those slows, play the distance game with him here, just allow him to bleed out completely. And now the crippling poison is about to run out guys, so we're going to go for a vanish here, try to go for a cheap shot. Now since he is playing an orc warrior guys, he does get a lot of resistance here, so we go for a vanish into a cheap shot. Obviously it does get resisted. In that case we have to go for an evasion here. Now why do we go for an evasion? It is because he has a one-handed weapon instead of a two-handed weapon. Now since he is playing with a one-handed weapon, we can dodge safely even if he does use overpower, because with a one-handed weapon, overpower hits for absolutely nothing guys. He will go for a fear, we go in for will forsaken. He tries to bandage up, we come back in, go for a kidney shot here. Keep pumping him with hemorrhage damage, again just trying to gain combo points and apply those slows. We do not want to go for backstab guys unless he switches to his two-handed weapon. Now he has switched to his two-handed weapon, which is pretty scary. Go for a vanish here, it does get resisted since he is playing an orc. We do get an unlucky mace stun on us here. Absolutely fine there guys, we go for a blind, and as you can see here, I'm already down to 60% HP with just one swing of his weapon. That's how deadly it can be. We're going to come in, go for a cheap shot, it gets resisted, it can't guys. Again, he is playing an orc. Gonna go for an evasion here just to dodge the one swing. Does get the charge on us unfortunately here. Now I want you guys to pay attention to my HP and what he can do with just one of his GCDs. He takes down about 30% of my HP with just one swing there guys. Just trying to go for another swing here, we cannot allow that to happen. Go for a full kidney shot there guys into a backstab. Now we go for backstab guys because he's playing with a two-handed weapon and he does not have high armor on. We go for a second backstab and it is completely over guys. Now I'll be showing you guys another example here. Now before we do open guys, please do pay attention to what weapon he has equipped. He does have a shield on again, so we're going to come in here, go for a cheap shot. Please do pay attention if he does go for a trinket. Warriors do tend to do that in order to trick the rogue and go for bleeds. We get 4 combo points here. We're looking for 5 guys possibly, so we're going to go for a gouge here. He tries to go for a grenade, we just stop that. Now I want you guys to pay attention to something else that is extremely important as well. When you do go in for a kidney shot on the warrior guys, please do it in an angle which you can just glide to the side at max distance. As you can see here, I go in for max distance away from his physical range. And the reason why we do that guys is because in case the kidney shot does get resisted, misses or blocked, we still do have a window of opportunity in order to get away. As you can see here, it does get resisted, but since we kidney shot it in that angle, he does not hit us. We come back in, go for an evasion since he is using a one-handed weapon. Keep using hemorrhage guys. We are not going to go for backstabs because it is completely useless when he does have a shield on. He does go for will forsaken. He trinkets the slow. He does get a charge on us. Now he is going to switch to a two-handed weapon, which is catastrophic. We instantly go for a vanish here guys. Keep pumping him with damage. Go in for an eviscerate. Try to gain distance here in order for him not to hit us. We're just regaining energy. Go for a full gouge here to build combo points. Now please always do pay attention to the crippling poison guys. It's about to run out. Now in that case, we're just going to go for a blind and start bandaging up. We do not want to take the risk of getting swung at. Again, as I've mentioned before, even one GCD can take you down to 30% of your HP. All it takes is 3 swings and you're completely dead. So we're going to go for a sap there. Just wait for the stun DRs to come completely off. Now again, since he does have a two-handed weapon and not a shield, we're going to go for a ambush there. It crits for about 8100. I try to gain max distance here, and I want you guys to pay attention as to how far I am here and how far out he can still get me. I gain max distance here guys. I am pretty far away, but he does use his AoE taunt shout and I do come out. He goes in for a charge, which is horrible. With just one GCD guys, he takes me down to 60% HP. We cannot risk it. We go for a gouge here, go for a kidney shot. Now again, as I stated before, he has a two-handed weapon. We move for a backstab there, go for a grenade, and it is completely over guys. Now I'll be showing you guys another example here. Now the reason why I'm showing you guys multiple examples is because the different scenarios. Each scenario is completely different, and I just want you guys to get comfortable with each and every different scenario. Again, he has a shield equipped. We're going to go for a cheap shot. It does get resisted. We try to go for a vanish here. Unfortunately for us guys, the vanish does bug out guys, and he goes for an auto attack which breaks it, which is horrible. We go for an evasion. It again, since he is using a one-handed weapon, keep on spamming that hemorrhage, going for a gouge to build a combo point and as well as apply those slows. In max distance here, go for another hemorrhage. We're just building combo points, guys, in order to get a kidney shot here. Go for one more gouge. We just want that 5 combo point kidney shot. Again, please do notice on how I kidney shot here. I just stride to the right and go for max distance kidney. It does get resisted, so this tactic is imperative, guys, when you are facing a warrior. Now, since 2 kidney shots did get resisted, it is pretty unlucky here, guys, but still winnable. We're going to get max distance here, just trying to build up that energy, trying to get a restock. We do not get a restock. The poison is about to come off. We just go for a fast gouge there, guys. Immediately go for a blind. Again, regaining control. We do not want to give him a second of control here, guys, because even if he does get 1 second of control, he can end the game. We get a restart here. Go for a cheap shot. We go for a kidney shot there, guys. It does miss, unfortunately. He applies a bleed to us, which is not the best. He still does have his one-handed weapon equipped, so we can still use evasion here and play it safe. He tries to go for a grenade. He does unfortunately land it. He gets 1 hit at us. We're just playing the distance game here again. He goes for a fear. We go for a Will Forsaken. Do not let them charge you, guys. That is his window of opportunity to kill you. We go for another gouge here. Just gaining control, building combo points. Everything's absolutely fine. We're going to go for one more hemorrhage just to apply those slows. Try to go for another kidney shot. Unfortunately, guys, as you can see how ridiculous it is. He is playing an Orc Warrior and it does resist again. We have to go for a blind here. Start bandaging up to 100% HP. Again, all it takes is a few DCDs for him to kill us. Come back in, go for a cheap shot here, go for a full gauze here, but we do not have any crippling poisons applied, which is pretty dangerous. He tries to gain distance to charge us, but we do go for a vanish to avoid that from happening. He still does have a rupture on him, so he cannot use any bandages. He tries to eat. We have to go for a distract here, go for a cheap shot, guys, into an eviscerate, and it is completely over. Next up, guys, we have shamans. Now, when it does come down to shamans, initially start with wolf form. You cannot sap them in wolf form in order to break the totem, so we do have a trick around this, guys. We're going to come in, auto attack the poison cleansing totem into a blind on the shaman. Now, the reason why we do that is because blind is not considered a physical ability, it is considered a poison. And please do break the totems quite fast, guys, because we do want to leave combat before blind does end to get a clean opener without having to use vanish. We go for a bandage here, gain a restuff, go for a cheap shot there, go for a backstab, waiting for our energy to regenerate. We're going to go for a grenade here in order to buy some time between the gap. Now, one important thing I wanted to note here, guys, this shaman is using a chest piece that I wouldn't normally call fair in a 1v1 duel because it is completely broken. This chest piece is called Invulnerability Chain, which has a pretty decent chance to proc a bubble, which makes them immune to all physical damages up to 4 seconds. Now, one important thing I want you guys to notice here, he does start casting Chain Lightning, but I do not vanish immediately. The reason why, guys, is because I want him to waste the bubble's duration, because if we do vanish quite early, he's just going to top himself off with healing, and he has to get a cast off regardless since he is in that bubble. So we are going to wait until he is almost done with the cast, then vanish. So the bubble is now wasted. Come back in, go for a ambush here. It does get a good crit. Instantly go for a kidney shot. He does trinket that, guys. Now he did place down a poison cleansing totem. We're just going to break that with our auto attacks, go for an immediate blind to regain control, and the game is pretty much GG here, guys. We're just waiting to gain a restart, reopen on him again, and try to finish him off. Again, please, if you are playing a shaman, guys, do not play with this chest piece. It is not fair in duels, but again, as a rogue, you still have a way to counter that. We open here, he tries to go for a grenade, we vanish the grenade, pump him with damage, and it is already over, guys. I'll be showing guys another example here. Again, he's using the same chest piece. Please do not use this chest piece if you are playing a 1v1, guys. It is not fair. He starts off in wolf form, absolutely fine. We are just going to use the tactic I've shown you guys. Instantly start breaking down the poison cleansing totem with your auto attack. Go for an immediate blind on the shaman. Start breaking down every totem. Please break this fast before the blind does end. We try to gain a restart here. Go for a cheap shot. It does miss, unfortunately, guys. He summons his pets. We have to immediately vanish to gain control. Go for a cheap shot here. Go for an evasion here to avoid any damage from the pets. Go for a backstab. Start pumping him with hemorrhage damage to gain combo points in order to go for a kidney shot. He tries to go for a heal there. We go for a backstab, throw a grenade to avoid any healing and regain energy. Go for a kidney shot there. He will trinket that, guys. He does land one of his grenades. Absolutely fine though. He tries to go for a heal there. You go for a kick. At this point, we can just go for a blind, which I should have done, to be honest. I did not want to waste my CDs. Again, the bubble just proc, guys, which is quite unfortunate. I go for a vanish into an ambush there. Stop pumping him with damage. As you can see here, just because of that chest piece, things can go drastically bad. Again, this is not supposed to happen when you are facing a shaman, guys. It's just because the shaman is using a chest piece that I would not call fair. We just go for a blind here, regain control, go for a sap, start eating up. We go for a bandage in case the heartbeat mechanic does break, guys. Whenever you are eating, please do go for a bandage If your target is in a sap, reason why is because the heartbeat mechanic can actually break, and bandage can get your HP up quite fast. For another sap there guys, waiting for the stun to come off, we go for the cheap shot macro. I'll be linking the cheap shot macro here guys. If you do want to use it, it is extremely powerful in classic rush. This macro does allow it to gain combo points while your target is in sap with cheap shots. So we're gonna get another restart here guys. Go for an ambush there, instantly go for a kidney shot there now. Go for a backstab, it does not land. We're gonna go for a normal death ray, and it is completely all over guys. I'll be showing guys one last example here. Again, they are going to start with wolf forms, so you do not sap them. Do not stay near any of the fire totems. We are trying to just get to the poison cleansing totem with the auto attack. We're going to come in, auto attack it, blind the shaman immediately, break down the totems as fast as we can. Now that we have secured that, we have a clean opener. We're going to get a restart here, go for a cheap shot into a backstab, start popping him with damage, go for eviscerate into a gnomish death ray here guys. We are going to try and finish him off with an eviscerate there. We pop him with damage, and it is completely over guys. I'll be showing guys one final example for shamans. Now the reason why I'm showing guys multiple examples for shamans because it can be quite difficult for rogues sometimes, and I just want you guys to be comfortable. Now in this situation, the shaman does not go into wolf form, but he does summon a pet. So in this case, we're just going to sap the shaman, start breaking down every totem we can as fast as possible, but we're going to kill the pet. Again, the main reason he did that is to buy time and hope that the heartbeat mechanic does break before we do get a clean opener on him. We break everything. Hopefully we can get a restart here guys. If we cannot, we have to immediately vanish. We get a restart, go for a cheap shot, start pumping him with hemorrhage damage, go for a grenade to buy time. Unfortunately, it does get resisted. He uses war stomp. He does go for an earth binding totem. We have to go for a sprint here guys. He does get a big crit there. We go for a kidney shot. Start pumping him down with backstabs. He will trinket into another pet here guys. We go for an immediate blind. We break down this totem. We have to kill that pet as fast as possible. This pet can actually die pretty quick. It's from engineering guys. Please do not worry if he does summon this. You can break it down pretty easy, but please do pay attention to your blind. So we break it, instantly vanish, go for a sap there guys, start bandaging up once again, just regaining full HP. At this point, the game is pretty much GG since he already used his trinket. We gain a restart here, go for a cheap shot, into a backstab, start pumping him with hemorrhage here, go for another backstab there. We are just waiting for a 5 combo point kidney shot here. Kidney shot does land, we go for a big crit there, and the game is pretty much all over guys. Now the next example is going to be Shadow Priests. Now when it does come down to Shadow Priests guys, I will say for a Backstab Spec rogue this can be quite difficult because it is really RNG, and if your backstab does not crit, it is pretty much GG guys. And when it does come down to Shadow Priests, it can be quite difficult if you do not get a crit, so this is really crit dependent, and I would highly recommend you guys get at least 20% default crit before you do play backstab. So the first thing we are going to do is wait for the bull's debuff to come off so we can go for a clean sap. We just want to sap that shield off guys. Now the reason why we want that to come off is because that shield eats up to 1300 damage, and we do not want to waste our energy on that. And one other thing guys, priests do have a buff called Inner Fire that gives them 1400 additional armor, which can be horrible for us since we are playing with backstab and we are heavily crit reliant. So we are just going to sap off the shield as long as it takes guys. This is a huge advantage. We're just waiting for our energy to regenerate. Go for a cheap shot, start pumping with hemorrhage damage. He does trinket here guys, reduced armor there, instantly go for a blind. Unfortunately he does apply that shield on him guys, which is not the best. And we also did manage to resist the sphere since we are playing undead, but again, even if we do manage to resist the fear, we still have our trinket which costs no GCD, and you can just go for a blind anyways. Since that has happened, we're just gonna go for an ambush, vanish into another ambush here guys, just pump him with as much damage as possible. Go for a grenade here, we're going to use preparation, regain control, go for a kidney shot, instantly go for another blind there guys. Now the reason why we're playing extremely safe is because he can actually kill us with just his dots. We do not want that to happen, and we are playing with a bit of a disadvantage by playing daggers here. We're gonna start eating here, go for a sap, just start regenerating our HP, go for a bandage there, and the game is pretty much already over guys. But I just wanted to show you what you are supposed to do when you are facing a Shadow Priest, because this is really hard for rogues, especially backstab rogues. We're gonna come back in, go for a backstab there, did crit. Now the reason why I did crit quite well is because we're breaking down his buff, Inner Circle, which does give him 1400 armor. He goes for a fear there, we go for a kidney shot, and it is completely all over guys. I'll be showing guys another example here. Again, you just want to sap off that shield, and you do want to be attacking him, so you break down that buff he has, Inner Circle. We open on him here guys, we go for 2 hemorrhages, go for a kidney shot. If he does trinket this guys, we have to immediately go for blind. He does trinket into a fear, instantly use your trinket guys. Now, one important thing I wanted to note as well, if you are playing an undead rogue, please, whatever you do guys, do not use Will of Forsaken, use your trinket. Reason why? Because Will of Forsaken does cost a GCV, and in that time you're going to give him an additional second to reapply that bubble. But if you do use your trinket, it does not cost any GCV and you can go for an immediate blind. We use our trinket, instantly blind. Now we try to open on him again. Unfortunately for us guys, blind heartbeat mechanic did break. We start pumping with damage. We have to go for a vanish here. Regain our energy. He tries to go for a grenade. Now that that bubble has been reapplied, it is quite devastating guys. Again, we are playing with daggers as a Backstab Spec rogue, so we are heavily reliant on our crit. So unfortunately for us guys, we do have to come back in. We have to sap off that shield, break down that inner circle buff, go for a cheap shot here guys, stop pumping him with hemorrhage damage, go for a kidney shot. We're going to vanish here guys in order to use ambush offensively, get a nice crit there, go for another backstab, instantly pump him with more damage, a third backstab, go for a grenade, and he will go down there guys. I'll be showing guys one last example here. Again, we do have the shield sapped off, so in this case, we're going to open with a cheap shot. Please do care if he does use trinket, into 2 hemorrhages, into a kidney shot. Again, we are just breaking down that buff he has. He will go for fear. Do not use Will of Forsaken. If you're undead, go for a trinket into a blind. Unfortunately for us guys, blind does miss here, which is not the best. We're going to come in, go for a ambush there, breaking down his shield, go for preparation, start breaking him down as much as possible guys before we go for a second blind. So we do get another crit on our second opener. We go for a blind there. He's getting healed by the debuff on us. As you can see here, the amount of damage we take just from dots is ridiculous, which is why I'm telling you guys to play this way. If you are playing backstab, if you're playing with swords, there's a completely different tactic. You're just regenerating energy, healing up, go for a bandage here. We have to get a restart quite fast in case the heartbeat mechanic does break. Go for a cheap shot there, go for a backstab, go for a grenade to save on energy and get some time. Go for a kidney shot, it does get resisted guys. Now, I was playing with a shadow reflector in this third duel, so I will pop a shadow reflector here, go for an eviscerate, vanish the grenade there, come back in, go for backstab, eviscerate, and he will go down there guys. Now, I'll be showing you guys one final example, but this will be versus a discipline priest. Again, when you are facing these guys, it can be quite difficult. You really do have to take your time. This is the only class I would say you need to take your time and start breaking down your target before you kill them, because just opening up with backstabs and ambushes will not cut it. Since these guys have a lot of self-sufficiency in order to regain HP and heal themselves, they have absolutely no problem doing that. Again, we have to come back in, start sapping off the shield, and we want to break down inner circle, which is their buff, which gives them 1400 additional armor. We go for a cheap shot there, start pumping them down guys. Now, instead of going for a kidney shot there, we can actually go for a reduced armor, which will take down about 1200 of their armor, which is pretty decent. Instantly go for a blind there. This is another strategy that you guys can use. Instead of going for a kidney shot, we gain a restuff, go in for a heavy ambush damage here. Unfortunately for us guys, it does not crit. We vanish once again, go in for another ambush there, go for an immediate blind. We have to play this smart guys. We cannot just go in and zug our target. It will not work versus priests. Gain a restuff, cheap shot into an eviscerate, pumping with as much damage as we can. Go for a vanish to use ambush offensively. It does not crit once again guys. Unfortunate again with this spec. I would highly recommend playing with at least 20% default crit, or do not play this spec at all. It does reapply his bubble there, absolutely fine. We go for a full gouge into a enormous death ray. His fear, we trinket that, pump him with hemorrhage damage, eviscerate, and he will go down there guys. Now the next example is going to be frost mages. Now when it does come down to frost mages guys, you want to come in, and I also wanted to specify something. I am not playing with improved sprint here guys. Now the reason why is because if you do play with improved sprint, it means you cannot have enough talent points in order to take stealth detection, which is highly recommended when you're facing rogues. And I do not want to play with a spec that does not give me anything, does not allow me to beat every class and only few. I am not playing with improved sprint here, but if you are guys, do not sprint in. Since I am not, I have to sprint in here. Go for a ambush there, breaking down his shield. Immediately go for a gouge guys. Go in for a enormous death ray. Now the enormous death ray can either do two things guys. Can either force him to ice block, or he can either take a ton of damage. Now he does decide to go for ice block there to avoid the damage. Again, it is a smart play because enormous death ray can actually take off 30% of his HP. So when he does that, we immediately go for a blind before he can cold snap. We have to get a restuff here. Go in for another ambush. It does luckily crit. Go in for a backstab. He tries to go for a grenade. We have to vanish that grenade guys. We sprint once again, come back in, go for another ambush. Do not allow him to eat guys. By all means, now he has to keep pumping with damage. We have another blind there guys, but he is pretty low on mana, so he does not have another ice block. Even if he did, we still do have vanish and a grenade, which is absolutely fine. Gonna come back in here guys and finish him off. I'll be showing you guys another example here. A frost mage to come in, go for a sap. Now again, this is another strategy you can use. I'll be putting up the cheap shot macro here, the same one we used on that shaman. Sap him, use the cheap shot macro in order to build combo points. Again, this is quite risky, guys. If it does pay off, it is quite devastating to the mage. Heartbeat mechanic does trigger and he does break that sap, guys. Unfortunate for us. Let's go for a Skull of Impending Doom. Prevents us from going in a blind, so we are not going to pop a blind on him immediately, guys. Please always do be patient. Now he has wasted Skull of Impending Doom because he thought we were going to blind him there. To vanish, come in, go for an ambush there. You will instantly ice block there, guys. Stand in front of him in case you can use a gouge on him. Rebuild that energy. He's just waiting for his new shield to come up, guys, for a few other CDs to come back. We immediately go for a blind there, guys. Do not risk it. We still have vanish, we still have blind, and we still have sprint. Getting a restock here, go for an ambush. Blind once again, guys. Now, again, the reason we did that is so he does not use cold snap and he does not blink away. Once again, go for a sap. The reason why we did that is to rebuild our energy, come back in and finish him off. I'll be showing you guys one last example with a fire mage. We're going to come in here, guys, go for an ambush. He used blast wave, which takes off 20% of HP, absolutely fine. Going for a backstab. Again, we do not have any lucky crits here. Go for a grenade here. As you can see, when it does come down to a fire mage, guys, he can actually kill you pretty fast. You do have to stay calm here. He does go for a frostbolt. We use sprint into an immediate bound. He has to ice block this, guys. Go for a gouge. It does not land. You have to vanish this. Go for an ambush. Stop there, and it is completely over, guys. I'll be showing guys another example with a frost mage. Come back in, ambush. You try to go for a gouge. Unfortunately, he does not face forward from us, so we do not land that. We have to go for immediate blind there. We are waiting to see if he does manage to use his ice block. He's actually going to sit this, which is the right thing to do. We go for a ambush there. It does not crit. Unfortunately, guys, again, with this spec, it is pretty crit reliant. We're going to go for a grenade there. Trinket the sheep. Start getting close to him. Go for a gouge there to build a combo point. Go for a backstab. Again, it is not critting. The reason why, guys, is because I will say I am quite under geared in this video, since I was not lucky with any of the MC drops, but it is still winnable. Want to pop vanish just yet, since he is within range of us. Going for eviscerate. Immediately pop a vanish there. He will use arcane explosion to get us out. There's preparation here, guys. We are not going to risk it. Vanish that polymorph. Try to come back in. Try to go for an ambush there. Backstab, blind, and it is completely over, guys. Again, guys, just wanted to state that I was not very cured when I did record this, but again, it is still winnable. Next up, we do have Warlocks, guys. Now, when it does come down to Warlocks, guys, again, just like Shadow Priest, this is quite difficult for rogues, especially if we're playing a Backstab Spec rogue, but it is still winnable. So we are going to come in here, guys. He has a Void Walker, going for a cheap shot, into an evasion to avoid any damage from the pet. Start using hemorrhage instead of backstab, guys. Again, we just want to build those combo points. Go for a full gouge there. Instantly go for a kidney shot. We go for a backstab. Backstab does not crit. Again, I am quite under geared here, guys. Start pumping him with damage. We have him down to 60% HP. Once that does happen, guys, we have to go for a blind, vanish, and sprint away. Now, the reason why we went for a blind, guys, is because we do not want him to eat and we do not want him to bandage. So we gain max distance here. One other important thing I wanted to note, since we still do have improved vanish with us, which increases our stealth effectiveness level, we are going to want to use this in order to sap the Warlock at max distance here. We sap them there. The only reason they did not see us is because we have improved vanish. Please do use that before it does end, guys. We are just waiting for the stun DRs to come off and then reopen on him. Do not get too close, guys, because the pet can get you out. We're going to come back in, go for an ambush there. Does quick for 1k. Go for a kidney shot immediately, guys. He has to use his bubble. Now that that has happened, we just instantly blind here, guys, and it is pretty much GG here. We are just going to want to sap off that shield. It is about 20 seconds. Please keep on sapping that off, but please do care if the heartbeat mechanic does break, because Warlocks do have an ability to resummon their pet in about 1 second, so you do not want to risk that, guys. We're just being patient here, waiting for that bubble to come off. Warlocks do not have a trinket that can remove stuns, luckily in Classic Fresh, guys, which is to our advantage. Go for a cheap shot there, into a backstab, into a kidney shot. Now he will be taking more damage, and it is completely over. Now I'll be showing guys another example here. Now for the second example, I'm going to be using Shadow Reflector, and I'll be showing you guys what you can do with a Shadow Reflector against a Warlock. We're going to want to come in here, guys, go for a cheap shot. Cheap shot does get resisted. He's playing Orc. We instantly have to vanish, guys, to regain control. Another cheap shot there, guys. Stop pumping him down with damage. Go for a 3 combo point kidney shot there, guys. The millisecond kidney shot does end, guys. Use Shadow Reflector because 7 times out of 10 Warlocks will use Death Coil in order to regain control. We instantly pop Shadow Reflector here. He does use Death Coil as expected. He coils himself, pumping him with more damage. He's used his bubble quite early. Just go for a blind here, guys. Do not risk it. The reason why he did go for an early bubble there, guys, is because he wants to summon his second pet before The bubble does end, so he has 2 bubbles because he knows blind is just waiting for us. Now this is quite risky, guys. The reason why is because he has a ton of HP, but since we killed his pet, he no longer has soul link. So he does not take 30% less damage. He will take the full damage now since the pet is not there. Just want to keep on sapping off that shield. Come in, go for a cheap shot, go for a backstab there, go for a kidney shot here, into a vanish. Going to use an offensive ambush here. It does crit for 1400 since he does not have his pet. We go for a grenade and it is completely over, guys. The next example is going to be hunters. So we have a hunter sapped here. We're just waiting for our energy to regenerate. Go in for a cheap shot on the hunter here. Go in for a backstab. We get a nice crit there. Go for a kidney shot here, guys. Now he is going to trinket this into a scattered shot into a frost trap. Now there's actually 2 things you can do in this situation, guys. Once you do go for a kidney shot, you can either use a frost reflector to avoid the trap, or you can just eat the trap on its own. Try to get to him. Once he does gain distance, he is going to use Hunter's Mark on us. He is going to flare our position so we do not vanish. Now one thing they do tend to do, guys, is use Dazed Shot before they do open on you. If he does go for a Dazed Shot, guys, you can just vanish the Dazed Shot, go for a sprint and get to him. We throw a grenade there, it does land. Pop an evasion into a vanish into another cheap shot there. Try to regain control as fast as possible. Go for another kidney shot there. Go for a backstab and he will go down, guys. I'll be showing you guys another example here. This hunter is sitting on his flare and his ice trap. Now there is a way in which you can avoid getting ice trapped, but it is not 100%, guys, since this is classic fresh and it is pretty RNG. We'll try and come here, go for max distance backstab there, guys. You do not want to get frost trapped. He does use scattered shot. He tries to gain distance here. Goes for a dazed. If he does do that, guys, again, please do just vanish the dazed, even if you are in a flare. Or to take off the soul, sprint to his location, go for a blind, regaining control, pop an evasion to avoid any of the pet damage, go for a grenade here, guys. Again, we're just trying to regain control, use a preparation, go for another blind there, guys. Again, we have not used kidney shot on him at all. We are just pumping him with an insane amount of damage. The reason why is because we know he's going to trinket the kidney shot or to kill us. We just go for a double blind, using forward from the pet, so he does not deal any damage. We instantly go for a vanish here, guys. A cheap shot. Now the reason why we did that is because we do not want to go for a kidney shot, because he's just going to trinket the kidney shot, pump him with damage here, and he will go down. Now the next example is going to be rogues, guys. Now for rogues, I'm not going to lie to you guys, when it does come down to classic fresh and only classic fresh, guys, it is completely an unfair matchup. The reason why is because whoever opens on who just completely wins the match. So for that reason, I'll be showing you guys only one example on this, because it really does depend on who opens on who. That is the win decider, guys. So there is something you can do as a rogue to maximize your potential in order to find the other rogue. There is 2 pieces of gear I want you guys to get from the auction house, which is cat's eye goggles and nightscape boots. I'll be putting it up here, guys. Please do get this if you're ever in a 1v1 against the rogue. This will increase your chances of finding him significantly, so we are looking for the rogue. We do see him from quite a distance here. Just go for a cheap shot. Now, if you do manage to find the rogue, guys, please do not go for a sap, because sap does share a DR with gouge, and sometimes you do have to gouge the rogue in order to build a combo point. We go for backstab there, guys. Into a kidney shot, into another lucky crit there, and the game is pretty much already over, guys. Again, I'm only showing you guys one example here because the win factor really does depend on who opens on who. Again, this only applies to classic fresh and not any other expansion. Now the next example is going to be druids. Now druids will tend to start in bear form, guys, so we're going to go for a cheap shot here. Please do be wary if they do use their trinket. We are going to start pumping them here with hemorrhages. We are not using backstab, guys. Again, as I've stated before, backstab will do nothing to high armor targets like druids in bear form, warriors who have a shield on, or a paladin. So we're just going to build 4 combo points here, guys. Go for an immediate kidney shot. Now one thing I wanted to note here as well, when you do kidney shot the druid, guys, please do not use any other GCD. Reason why is because they do tend to trinket, and if they do trinket the kidney shot, you can instantly go for a blind. And if you do use anything else after your kidney shot, like a hemorrhage or a backstab, it can prevent you from going in for a blind and giving them enough time to apply poison removal, which can then stop us from blinding him. So please just wait 1 second after you do your kidney shot. I do not use anything. He does not trinket this, obviously, so I'm just going to continuously pump him with damage. Go for a blind there, guys. We are just going to break him down completely here, just reducing his HP as much as possible here. We're going to come back in. Now we are staying close to the druid, guys, in case he does switch to human form and get greedy. He does not do that here, so we're just going to come in, start pumping him with damage. He does go for poison removal, for a vanish into a cheap shot here. Now, since he does have a poison removal on, guys, we are not going to go for a kidney shot there. The reason why is because he has it already up, and our blind will do absolutely nothing. We go for vanish there. He does go for a war stop. Unfortunately for us, guys, he tries to get 1 heal off here. He does use fairy fire to avoid stealthing again. Trying to get away here. He keeps on switching his forms. He goes into Cheeto form. Do pop an evasion since he goes into bear form here. Stop popping him with hemorrhage again, guys. Go for a blind there. Unfortunately, we do use blind The exact same moment he does use removal, which is unfortunate. I go for a kidney shot. He does trinket the kidney shot, guys. Now this is a really good situation because the Druid is pretty low on mana. He keeps shapeshifting his forms, trying to be aggressive. Switches back into bear form. We have to pump him again with hemorrhages, guys. Go for a full gouge here, into a bandage here to regain some of our HP. Go for a grenade here, guys, for a backstab. But again, obviously, as you guys can see, backstab does nothing. Stop popping up with hemorrhage damage. A bit of distance here since we don't have any poisons applications. He has to gain distance here. You have to stay on his tail, guys. Fairy Fire is about to come off. He does reapply it once again. Trying to regenerate his HP. Trying to not allow him to go back into stealth, guys, because he can drink and eat. In a restealth, we have to mount up here, guys. We have to buy ourselves time. We have to force him to come out. We do not want him going into cat form and him stunning us because that is GG, guys. If he does stun you, go in for 3 bleeds. It is completely over. We are actually just going to buy some time here, mount up, run around, wait for that Fairy Fire to come off. The main thing we want to do here, guys, is for him to come out and not open us with a bleed or a stun, which is why we are making it almost impossible for him to open on us. He does get pressured into coming out because Fairy Fire is about to come off. He does use poison removal. We're just going to go for a kidney shot here, guys. Going for 2 backstabs here. Unfortunately, the second one is not crit. He goes for a nature swiftness into full HP. We start chasing him down. He goes into bear form. Go for a full gouge there, guys. We're going to go for a gnomish death ray here. Applying those hemorrhages because it has a decent chance in proc and crippling poison. We just want to keep on building those combo points, using poison cleansing in order to get away. Not keeping track of his HP for us. Now he tries to get max distance. We go for a grenade. Grenade does not land. Max distance here. He's trying to get restealth. He goes for a charge. We go for immediate kidney shot here, guys. Stop pumping him with hemorrhage damage. And much already over here, guys. We'll go down here. I'll be showing you guys another example here. Again, if he starts in bear form, please do not backstab him, guys. We go for a cheap shot there. Go in for hemorrhage. In kidney shot, do not use any GCD, guys, at all. Again, they do tend to trinket. He does trinket. We go for an immediate blind there, guys. And he trinkets and he does go into human form, which is extremely fortunate for us. Not thinking that we are going to be using blind, thinking that we are not going to use any GCD after we do kidney shot. Again, guys, please keep that in mind. Do not use hemorrhage or backstab after you use your kidney shot, because as you can see, he did use his trinket. Pretty much GG, guys. All you want to do is just go for a sap there. Stuck in human form is extremely devastating for him. Just because of one misplay there, he did not think we would be saving our GCD for a blind. We go for a cheap shot. It does miss, unfortunately, guys. We go for a cheap shot there. Go for a grenade, do a kidney shot, and it is completely over, guys. I'll be showing guys another example here, but in this situation, this Druid actually gets pretty lucky, but we still do manage to win this. Now, Druids tend to not normally go into cat form because rogues do have a better chance of finding them than they do us. But as I've stated earlier, guys, I was quite unfortunate in this type of situation. It is still completely winnable. I'm looking for the Druid here, thinking that I do have a pretty good chance here because 8 times out of 10, the rogue will always find the Druid. And massive risk for the Druid to go into cat form. I do see him, guys, but unfortunately for us, he is using cat's eye goggles as well. He does see us. He uses fairy fire to get us out. We have to instantly go in for some hemorrhages. He goes into bear form. We have to pop an evasion to avoid any damage. Unfortunately, he does get a stun on us. He goes in for a root. We have to vanish this root, guys. Even though we have fairy fire on us, he's going to go for an abolish poison, so we do not blind him. He charges on us with bear form, tries to gain distance here. Absolutely fine though, guys. We do go for a grenade here. Blind does miss, unfortunately for us, guys. We go for preparation. Stop pumping him down with hemorrhage damage here. We gain distance. He tries to go for a war stop. We do dodge that. Come back in. Go for a kidney shot. Stop pumping him with damage. He does use his trinket there. Finally, guys, we are down to 40% HP. Again, still completely fine. We're going to go for a clean blind there. Start regenerating our energy. Completely fine here, guys. We're going to go for a full gouge. Now, the reason why we did that, guys, is to regain stealth once again. So we're going to vanish here. Go for a cheap shot. Into a backstab. Into a kidney shot here. This is quite devastating for him. We're going to go for a enormous death here. Into another backstab. And it is completely over, guys. I'll be showing guys one final example here, again for Druids, because it can be quite tricky. We're going to come in, go for a cheap shot. Stop pumping him with hemorrhage damage. Go for a kidney shot. Again, please do not use anything, guys, because there's a pretty decent chance he will use trinket. He does use trinket. We instantly go for a blind there. Unfortunately, guys, we were not fast enough, and he does use abolish poison. In this case, we're just going to vanish here, go for an ambush. He goes into bear form. We use an evasion for the applying those slows. We get extremely unlucky here, guys. He does bash us through the evasion. Quite unfortunate. He's still in human form. He's trying to heal up again. He goes for nature swiftness. He roots. We just have to vanish that, guys. He's trying to run away. Go for some hemorrhages here. We are out of vanishes. Absolutely fine there. We go for a grenade there. Go for a kidney shot. Kidney shot does resist. Again, unfortunate, guys. Go for a second evasion, stop popping him with damage. He tries to go for entangle roots. We instantly just go for a blind there, guys. Have to use bandages. He has absolutely nothing, no trinket, no nothing. We're going to go for a full gouge there, guys, in order to get some time for another clean kidney shot. We're going to go for a kidney shot here, guys. Unfortunately, this Druid is super lucky, guys. The game was supposed to end there. This managed to go into bear form last second. We start pumping him with hemorrhage damage here again, since he is in bear form. He's going to go for a regeneration. Now, when he does go for a regeneration, guys, please do not attack him. Just try to play the dead zone, because if you do attack him, he will heal more than you will hurt him. So we are just baiting him to switching forms. We go for full gouge there, guys. Luckily for us, luck is on our side. He goes into human form. We go for an eviscerate, and it is completely over. I'll be showing guys another example here with a Druid. He's in bear form. Go for a cheap shot here, guys. Go for a hemorrhage. Go for a kidney shot. We do not use anything, guys. Wait to see if he does blind. He does not. Keep on pumping with damage. Go for a blind there. Again, we are just breaking him down as much as possible before we do open on him for real. Wait to see if he does manage to go into human form. He's trying to gain distance here. He's still in bear form, guys. We do not want to open on him if he is in bear form. We're just waiting for the stun DRs to come off. We do go for a cheap shot. Unfortunately, it does miss. We go for a vanish. He tries to bear stomp. We do manage to cheap shot him in human form, which is extremely lucky for us. We're going to go for a kidney shot there. He has to trinket this, guys. He does do something that is completely unfair here, guys. Please do not ever do this in a duel. He goes for a goblin rocket helmet. This is not okay when you guys are doing a clean 1v1. This is completely cheating. Goes for a fairy fire. He does summon his pets. He goes for a nature swiftness into a root. We start pumping him with hemorrhage damage here. And again, please do not worry about the pets. The pets cannot do anything, guys. We have evasion up. Keep on pumping with hemorrhage damage here, just breaking him down, guys. He tries to heal up. Once again, we're going to go for a full gouge there. We're going to go for a kidney shot here. Try to pump him with backstab. We get a nice lucky crit there. Go for an immediate blind. All we have to do in this situation, guys, is try to heal up again. Again, this Druid did something quite disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. It is pretty shameful. If you guys are ever in a 1v1, please never ever use Goblin Rocket Helmet. It is not fair in a fight. We're gonna go for a backstab here. Unfortunately, it does not crit. We just have to keep on pumping him with hemorrhage here. Since he's in bear form, go for a gouge. Go for one more clean kidney shot here, guys. And it is completely over. The final example is going to be with a Paladin. Now with Paladins, guys, they are the highest armor targets in the game, so using backstab and ambush is very rare in this situation, which is why I'm telling you guys to play with my spec, which is Backstab spec. So we are going to open him with a cheap shot, start pumping him with hemorrhage damage here, go into a grenade to buy some time. He does go for a fast bubble there. We vanish. Unfortunately, guys, someone has decided to interrupt our clean 1v1, so this is quite unfair to me, but it is still winnable. So I get stunned here, I get death called by the Warlock. Again, quite unfortunate. I have to switch to the Warlock here to try and kill him fast. Again, guys, I always try to make clean 1v1s for you guys, but it's quite unfortunate sometimes. So since that has happened, I have to go for blind here, guys. I'm at a huge disadvantage because I wasted vanish and I wasted blind here, which is huge, especially versus Paladins. We gain a restock, go for a sap, start healing up again, guys. Again, if there was no 1v2 in that situation, I'd be showing you guys a much cleaner fight here, but we'll do with what we have. Gain a restock, we gain full energy here, guys. Go for a cheap shot, pump him with hemorrhage damage. As you can see here, our damage is barely doing anything to him, so this will be a long fight. We gain distance here. Now the main objective here, guys, is not to use your CDs quite fast, because you do need a few outs when you are fighting a Paladin, because he does have lay on hands, he does have buisness of protection, he has Divine Shield, we gain restuff, he does use his AoE, gets us out. We go for a kidney shot here, stop pumping him with hemorrhage damage, gain distance once again. Now, what I am hoping for is that he's going to waste his mana on dispelling those poisons, but this Paladin is quite experienced. He's not removing those slows because he knows if he goes he's basically screwed. We gain a restart here. We're going to go for an immediate garrote because we have 3 combo points. Go for Rupture. Keep on bleeding him out, guys. Gain max distance once again, but do not go too far, guys, because he can cast the heal. Come back in, start pumping with hemorrhage. Gain distance here. Again, guys, he still has a few other things that he can still use. For a kidney shot there. Go for a backstab, and it is pretty much all over, guys. I'll be showing you guys one more other example here. The Paladin will immediately use buisness of protection here, guys, to try and get away, try to AoE us out. We can actually use a grenade here from getting away. We instantly go for vanish, go for a cheap shot there, go for a sprint, going to remove his slows in order to regain time. So he can use another bubble. We cannot allow that to happen. We're going to use sprint here. He's using freedom. Again, guys, he's just trying to buy time in order to get the second bubble. Go for a kidney shot there. Start pumping him down with hemorrhage damage. Again, guys, please do not use backstab because backstab will do absolutely nothing. He's trying to buy time. Again, guys, we are trying to apply those slows, but we are trying to make him go as fast as possible. We go for a bleed there. Trying to dispel those slows. Go for a kick on that. Gaining energy, go for a kidney shot here, guys. Go for a backstab, and it is completely all over, guys. That was how to beat every class as a Backstab Spec rogue. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.